On May 3, 2007, a tragedy occurred that would captivate the world. Madeleine McCann, a 3-year-old girl from the UK, vanished from her family's holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, while her parents dined with friends nearby. Despite a massive investigation and global media attention, her disappearance remains unsolved. The mystery surrounding Madeleine's fate has kept the world in suspense for over a decade. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most puzzling disappearances of modern times. What happened to Madeleine McCann? Was it a random abduction, or is there more to this case than meets the eye? Stay tuned as we explore the key details, the ongoing investigation, and the many theories surrounding this tragedy. In early 2007, Gary and Kate McCann, along with their 3 children, Madeleine and her younger twin siblings Sean and Amelie, decided to take a well-deserved holiday to the Algarve region of southern Portugal. They stayed at the Ocean Club Resort in Praia da Luz, a family-friendly location known for its stunning beaches and relaxing atmosphere. The McCanns rented an apartment in a block of holiday flats, situated near the resort's pool. On the night of May 3, 2007, the family had just finished dinner at the tapas restaurant, a short walk from their apartment. Around 8:30 p.m., Kate McCann checked on her children while they were still asleep, and all seemed fine. At 9:30 p.m., Gary went to check on the children, but this time, Madeleine was gone. The window was open, and there were no signs of forced entry into the apartment. As Gary realized that Madeleine was missing, panic quickly set in. He ran to the tapas restaurant and informed Kate and the friends they were dining with. The group immediately launched a search, knocking on doors and asking other guests if they had seen anything unusual. However, the night passed with no success in locating Madeleine. The police were called around 10 p.m., and the search expanded to the entire village. Despite the widespread effort, Madeleine's whereabouts remained unknown. The only clue, the open window, suggesting that she had been taken. News of Madeleine's disappearance spread like wildfire across the globe. The McCann family's plight was widely covered by the media, and soon volunteers and journalists flooded Praia da Luz, hoping for a breakthrough. In the early days of the investigation, the media painted a picture of the McCanns as devastated parents, desperately searching for their daughter. The immediate search efforts were a combination of local police, resort staff, and concerned tourists. The Portuguese police, along with the help of British police, began combing through the area, looking for any signs of Madeleine. Cadaver dogs were brought in to search the apartment, but no definitive evidence was found. A key early mistake by authorities was the delay in securing the scene. The McCann family and their friends were allowed to wander through the apartment, which made it difficult to preserve potential evidence. Additionally, the police's initial approach was criticized as being slow and disorganized. The case quickly gained international attention, with tabloids and news outlets around the world covering every new development. The McCanns were thrust into the media spotlight, but not always in a positive light. Some outlets speculated about the McCanns' involvement in their daughter's disappearance, while others criticized the Portuguese police for not doing enough to solve the case. Over time, the media's portrayal of the McCanns shifted. Some outlets began questioning the parents' actions, focusing on the fact that Madeleine was left unsupervised in the apartment. The British tabloids, particularly, started running stories about the possibility of the McCanns' involvement in the disappearance, which led to significant public backlash. The Portuguese police initially focused on the theory that Madeleine may have been abducted. However, their investigation was marred by controversy. They were quick to label the McCanns as Arguido's official suspects after just a few months. This led to widespread speculation, and it became a media circus. Many criticized the police for treating the McCanns as suspects without concrete evidence. This move alienated the McCanns and their supporters, and they became frustrated with the lack of progress in the investigation. The most widely accepted theory remains that Madeleine was abducted from her apartment by a stranger. The window being left open, along with the absence of a struggle, suggested that someone had entered the apartment quietly and taken Madeleine. However, the lack of physical evidence such as fingerprints, DNA, or footprints led some to question whether an abduction really took place. One theory suggests that Madeleine may have been taken by someone familiar with the area, or even someone who had been watching the family. If the abduction was planned, the kidnapper might have known the layout of the apartments and waited for the right opportunity to strike. The Portuguese police quickly turned their attention to the possibility that Madeleine's parents were involved in her disappearance. Both Gary and Kate McCann were officially named suspects arguidos in September 2007, though they were never charged. The police suspected that Madeleine might have died accidentally in the apartment, and that the parents covered up her death. This theory was widely publicized by the media, which led to intense public scrutiny of the McCanns. The couple denied all allegations and continued to advocate for their daughter's return. Despite the intense media coverage and public pressure, the theory of parental involvement never gained any substantial evidence. In 2011, after years of criticism and mounting pressure, the British government launched a new investigation into Madeleine's disappearance. The case was reviewed by Scotland Yard, and in 2013, a team of British detectives, known as Operation Grange, began a fresh inquiry into the case. The British authorities were able to obtain new information, including possible sightings of Madeleine in other parts of Europe. But despite extensive efforts, no new leads materialized. The investigation, which was originally set to last 6 months, continued for several years, but it eventually concluded with no clear answers. One of the most chilling theories surrounding Madeleine's disappearance is that she was taken by a serial child abductor. The McCanns have pointed to other similar cases in the region, and some investigators believe that a sex offender may have been responsible for several child abductions in the area. Christian Bruckner, a German man who had lived in Portugal around the time of Madeleine's disappearance, was named as a suspect in 2020. Bruckner is a convicted sex offender with a history of crimes in the Algarve region. However, despite his criminal background and possible connections to the case, no definitive evidence has emerged linking him to Madeleine's abduction. Another theory suggests that Madeleine might still be alive. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of sightings of Madeleine in various countries, including Morocco, Belgium, and even the United States. Some believe that Madeleine may have been abducted by someone who kept her hidden, either for ransom or for other unknown reasons. These sightings have often been but the possibility that Madeleine is alive and out there somewhere continues to fuel the search. Some investigators believe that Madeleine may have been taken as part of a human trafficking operation. While there is no direct evidence of trafficking being involved, the theory has gained traction over the years, particularly in light of other cases of missing children where trafficking was later uncovered. Despite the lack of closure, Madeleine's parents, Gary and Kate, have never stopped searching for their daughter. They have used their platform to raise awareness about missing children and have worked tirelessly to keep the case in the public eye. In 2007, the McCanns established a Find Madeleine campaign, which has since become a significant force in raising awareness about child abduction. They have also worked closely with organizations such as the National Crime Agency, NCA, and have provided crucial information to various law enforcement agencies. The case of Madeleine McCann has captured the attention of millions around the world. It's not just the McCanns who are affected by this tragedy. People everywhere have followed the case closely, hoping for answers. The case has raised important questions about child safety, media responsibility, and the role of law enforcement in solving high-profile cases. The disappearance of Madeleine has also had a profound